Hello, I'm Willy Wonka, and this is the Jeff Richards Show. Come with me, and you'll see a whole world of rising inflation. And with me today, my friend, my comrade, well, I wouldn't say comrade, but Billy Bob Thornton. Hello,
Hey Willie, how you doing? It's,
I'm
it's
fine.
good to talk to you. It's been maybe 5 or 6 years, I think, since I saw you last, and you look good.
Thank you.
Look like you're eating your vegetables.
I've had a few. I blend mostly spinach, walnuts, cashews.
Spinach, walnuts, cashews. Yeah. That's I, I mostly had smoothies. You know, I was eating salads for I don't know a number of years, and I moved, moved over to smoothies. If you can believe it.
Well, what do
Yeah.
you put in your smoothies?
Oh, I don't know. Would you ask Ray Harryhausen what he puts in his smoothies?
Is
Would
licorice
you?
a
Would
pizza? Is it licorice a pizza or a movie?
I don't. I don't even know you know how I'd even answer that question. it's
I'm so
I didn't get the call on it, and
I'm so glad you could be here today. We're gonna have a fun time. I think that we will. I hope that we will.
yeah, we we've had some fun before, you and
You
me.
you remember
This
most of that. I
I
was passed
I
out most of the time, and you know it. And a back seat to me is a couch and a bed. Talk about the Viper Room. I know you want to talk about the Viper Room.
uh, this I mean, some of it's a little hard to recollect because there are substances involved and various chemicals, which we ingested a great number of from about 1988 to 1997. It's probably the worst of it, you and me. But just if you
Lick a
got,
tab of acid. It tastes like acid.
it's acidic. Yeah,
Lick
it's
a tab
acidic,
of
and I
acid.
leave
It
it.
tastes like salad.
Yeah, I leave it out of my smoothies mostly these days. But uh, I remember you puking your guts out outside of the fucking Viper room, and I walk up and I said, you know, you having a good night, Willie? You want to come with me? Maybe sober up, head down to Norm's, have some loaded hash browns or something. But yeah,
I just
you said no, you're fine, and you started tap dancing in that puke, and God, me and Matt Dillon were laughing our asses off at you.
you know, have you talked to Matt lately? I haven't seen him.
Man. I haven't seen him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to anybody, man. I pretty much just stay up in Laurel Canyon, and I don't come down for shit. I
Little
don't come down for
surprises around
groceries.
every. Go ahead.
No, it's your show, man.
Listen, it sounds
I'm,
like you
I'm,
might be a little. Have you had something to drink today? You seem a little wobbly.
yeah, I had I had a normal breakfast. I had, guess what you'd call an Irish breakfast.
Yeah, but did you pour vodka into the bowl and then eat it? I mean, what is this? You seem.
I mean, did I say that I had a Russian fucking dinner? I told you I had an Irish fucking breakfast. Okay, I don't know why I'm getting the third degree here. I had some whiskey, I had some coffee, I had some blood sausage, a couple egg McMuffins. I don't, I don't know. I feel like I'm talking to my mom right now.
Well, you should
You
never
know.
ever doubt what you're never sure about.
Okay. I guess it's one of them Wonkaisms. Huh?
What have you been up to lately, Billy? Have you been having a good time? Have you been eating candy?
Uh, Nobody has as good a time as you. I can tell you that. But um, just mostly keeping to myself and been writing music and getting into getting into birds.
Now, tell me
Mostly getting
about
into
your band.
birds.
What do you mean? You're getting into birds? What do you mean getting into birds?
What, what do you mean? What do you mean getting into birds?
What do you mean? What do I mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? What do we mean?
Does anybody mean?
Tell me
I'm
about your
looking out my
band.
damn
Go
looking out
ahead.
my damn window at the birds, man. There's all kinds of birds. If you look out your window, you just got to open your eyes. I think that's a huge issue with a lot of Americans. They're not opening their eyes, and
To what?
they're missing most of it. I don't know, man. Oligarchies and empires rising and falling, and decline of goddamn Western civilization. It's the fall of the damn Roman Empire. It was streaming and storming the capitals and storming Desert Storm and all of it. It's just it makes me want to break my foot off in people's ass. Does
You
that
still
make any
didn't
sense
answer.
to you?
It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I think it has to do with the whiskey, and maybe the coffee, and maybe just having smoothies. You need vegetables. So, tell me about your band, the Box Cutters. I mean, why
Well,
did that
we
happen?
start box cutters are. I never really. I don't know what you mean by started the band. I mean, it's really always been a band, and who starts anything? Like, did Orson Welles start? Telling people aliens are coming, or was just some sort of divine poetry flowing through him? I mean, it's music. It didn't start. Like, a song doesn't start. It's playing whether you're listening to
What
it
the
or
hell are
not.
you?
I mean,
What are you talking about? That makes no sense. What do you mean it
what
doesn't
the hell are
start?
you
Of course
talking
it
about?
starts. You go from song to song. They're different songs. They started different ways. They're all different. It's not one song. Or do you think life's a metaphor for oneness?
I guess if you spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, surrounded by 3 foot tall, orange colored, you know, slaves, like some people do, you might get a little confused and think you're talking to a chocolate wrapper, thinking it's a real person, like some sort of reverse Bugs Bunny cartoon or something like that. You're the kind of guy, he gets hungry and he looks at food and it turns into a person. I don't know what you mean by started playing with the box cutters. I mean, if you want to talk about when we formed, uh, we probably formed the box cutters after 9/11, really, as a service to America. But started, I don't know what you mean by started.
What do you mean service to America? I've heard those songs. They're not helping anybody.
I don't, you must have been listening to some different shit because it kicks ass. The music I make kicks ass. I mean, it's certified. It's got a stamp on it from C. Everett Koop.
There's nothing to it.
See,
There's nothing.
this is what I mean by people got to open. You got to open your eyes, man, because
My eyes are
I feel like you
open.
got your eyes shut.
Even if they were shut, I mean, it's a song. Why would it matter? I could hear it.
Hey, I've heard your songs, man. Yeah, I know what you know about songs because I've heard your songs.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to talk to Billy? There's nothing to it.
There's a couple things to it, and Willie, I don't want to burst your bubble or anything, but if you took that shit down to Music Row in Nashville, Tennessee, they'd laugh you straight out of the building. You'd be crying your eyes out at a Raising Cane's, thinking, "What the hell did I just do? I blew my shot."
Look,
I'm
I've been
telling
to
you, man. It's
Nashville. I've
yeah. You've been to Nashville.
You don't have half the candy that I have. Most of my distribution was halted just because I didn't want to deal with Nashville. And now you turning on me like this.
Man, I think you got to tell your viewers maybe a little bit about our relationship because you know better than anybody. I'm not turning on you. I keep it real with you. I keep it real with you all the time. Yeah, I remember sitting across from this guy at 1992. I think we had just went to one of those unplugs. Remember? I don't
Mm.
even remember what band it was. What, maybe it was Live or something like that.
I think
Was
it
it
was
Live that we saw?
Presidents of the United
92.
States.
Oh, that's the Peaches. Goddamn Peaches.
Peachy.
And I was telling you, man, you got to stop. You got to give up the fucking candy. I know
It's
there's something else in there because you're talented, bro.
listen,
You are.
listen. I appreciate your concern, but I don't eat a lot. You know, a little bite here, a little taste here. It's not consuming me. You know, that's the moral of
You got a
life.
problem. You got a problem. At first, I thought it was just I was just twinkly little guy. His twinkle toes. He just has a little bit. He has his obsessions. You know, it's like a guy who doesn't have any kids, and you go into his house and you look in his basement, and it's just covered in Hot Wheel cars, still in the box.
They're
Oh
very
man,
valuable. You know, they go up in price almost daily. And by
yeah,
the
dude.
way,
I
I
don't.
never, those Oompa Loompas are not slaves. I saved them. You know, a Wang Doodle would eat four of them for breakfast. So I brought them to my factory.
Wang Doodle. Why are we talking about
And
Wang Doodle?
a Snozwanger and a rotten vermicious canid. You know, there's a lot of dangerous folk out there. So I saved them and I brought them to my factory.
There are a lot of dangerous folk out there, and they all work at fucking Miramax.
Do you think that Sling Blade would like chocolate?
I think that Sling Blade is kind of a meditative prose poem, and at the time I wrote it, I wasn't thinking about chocolate. Let's put it that way. I wasn't thinking about no goddamn chocolate. I was thinking about, what is it like for one man to request potted meat and not have everybody look at him like he's, some wretch, but something more than that. What would it be like if a big kid grew up, but he stayed a kid, but he had the hog and the arms of an adult, and that motherfucker took on Dwight Yoakam and became the biggest alt country pop star? Uh, it's a Zen koan. It's not a chocolate ad. It's shit ain't American Idol.
Why are you so
It's,
against chocolate? Why are you so against candy? What is your problem? Why? A lot of people enjoy it. If you don't like it, it doesn't mean that you have to, push down on it. Or
uh, I'm not saying anything negative about chocolate. Uh, um, I'm keeping it real with you because somebody's got to keep it real with you. Otherwise, you're going to be, you know, like you said, licking something and going to space. Because I've been in that factory. I've been in there a couple times. I stayed the night, and I'm just saying, I don't like the federal government as much as you do.
listen,
But
Billy.
if I were to tell them what's going on in there, I think it'd be some kind of incident. It'd be another Waco.
Listen,
It's
Billy.
the
I have
goddamn
to cut a
truth.
grapefruit. Listen, Billy. I have to cut into a grapefruit. Which knife should I use? You want questions like
Uh,
that? Is that what you want?
I mean, I'd talk about knives all day. I mean, you got a paring knife. You could use. I have a vintage World War II era Japanese officer's sword. I mean, it was a sword to that guy. It's a knife maybe to you and me. Well, yeah, but I mean, that's usually what I use to cut my fruit. If I'm making a smoothie, I'm gonna go into the attic. I'm gonna get my Japanese officer's, you know, sword. Is I know it's just for dress and military dress uniform sword is you may not think it's sharp, but that fucker's sharp. That's what I want. That's what I want to use for most of my cooking. Belushi style in my kitchen, man.
Do you
More ways
consider
than one, if you know
yourself?
what I'm saying.
It, I consider it. Let me ask you this: do you consider yourself a bad boy? And if so, why?
Uh,
And if
I
no,
don't know. I think
why?
that's good boys and bad boys. It's just we're just being kids, right? So if I'm a bad boy, it's kind of good. From my perspective, I think it's good to be bad. And I won't say I'm a bad boy. I think I play the game.
But how much
But
of it is a front? I mean, how much of you are really country? I mean, you could have grown up in Chicago for all we know. I mean, you're an actor. You're a, you play you play the part.
well, listen, Candyland, I'm from the Washington Mountains of Arkansas. Okay, the Ozarks. You ever been up there? You ever drank that water, Mountain Spring Valley water?
No, but I've
Then you
seen
know.
photographs.
Yeah, everybody's
I've
seen photographs, man. I get the swimsuit edition. I get all of it. I get Life magazine. I've seen a photograph. Doesn't mean I've been to Tahiti.
well, what the hell does that have to do with anything?
What do you have to do with anything, man? I mean, you make candy. Here's a chronology. Okay, you and me, we're partying. We're having the time of our lives. There's 4 women on my right arm. There's 6 women on my left. I look over at you. You got 20. I said, does it get any better than this? I want you to be an extra in The Man Who Wasn't There. I got to hook up with Joel Cohen. We're going to go do blow at his house later tonight. You said, no, I got to get home and I got to make everlasting ever fucking gobfinger, whatever the hell it was.
Gobstoppers, everlasting
And
gobstoppers.
and I said, you've got, this is why we don't talk. Because you miss a whole goddamn point every time I talk to you. You could have been in Man Who Wasn't There. That's the number one. That's the number one Coen Brothers flick. And you could have been in there, man. And you turned it down.
Because I was in the
Because you
greatest
had
movie that. No, I don't need to be in your little winky dinky movies. I was in. What movie was I in? Willy
yeah, that's
Wonka
right.
and the Chocolate Factory.
Willy Wonka and the goddamn
The
chocolate. Yeah,
greatest.
you could be in movies and you could have been in films.
That's a film. It's shot on
And I'll
film.
never understand. I'll never understand that, bro. I never will. This a movie. A movie's not a film. Film's not a movie.
Well, what
What the
is it
fuck are you
then?
talking about?
What's the difference between a
That's-
movie and a film? Go ahead, answer that. Go ahead, I'm
all
waiting.
right, all right. If I were to buy 2 tickets to Scorpion King, would you say that's a movie or a film?
I've
You
never
don't have
even
to
heard.
answer right away.
I've never even heard of it. So I would say
It's Dwayne the
neither.
Rock.
It's a trick question.
It's a film,
I know.
and you blew it. You blew it
I knew
just
it
like
was
you
a
blew
film.
it.
I'm not playing your games. Little surprise. Okay, little surprises around every corner, but nothing dangerous. This is what I say sometimes to try to get people to relax. There's nothing to worry about. Little surprises around every corner, but nothing dangerous. You know about danger. By the way, why did you and Angelina Jolie, you had that locket of blood? Was it really blood? Or was it chocolate?
Yeah. Here's the thing about me and Angie. It was chocolate, and that's why it didn't last. This is, man. You're like Howard Stern or something like that. You're getting me to open up about shit I didn't even plan on talking about. But here I go. Yeah, it was chocolate. It was Hershey's chocolate syrup, and I told her I didn't want any of that candy shit in the house. She said, "Come on, baby, try it." And I said, "Well, sure. I mean, you're built like Sistine Chapel. I'll try anything once." And I had some of the Hershey's chocolate syrup. I put it in a can of Coke with a couple shots of rum, a couple Advil, some Xanax, and I proceeded to have one of the worst weekends of my life. I
Wow, go
I, I,
figure.
I, I was I think I fell asleep in her lap in the back of a limo in Midtown Manhattan. I woke up. I was at E3 Gaming Expo. My hands, two Nintendo 64 controllers in my hands. I said, "How the hell did I get here?"
Well, I mean, who could remember how you got there when you're doing all those drugs? You know, candy would equalize it. If you just switched to candy, you would just get a little bit of a sugar high and then you would fall asleep. It's really a great
Let me
way to
tell you, man,
rehabilitate.
that Hershey's chocolate syrup didn't do shit. It didn't do shit. I don't know what you're talking about equalizing it. I put the syrup in there. I did exactly what you said to do because he told me a long time
Oh
ago
no.
if you're ever on too much, just have a little chocolate. And so I put Hershey's chocolate syrup in, and I put it in a big measuring cup. I filled about 4 cups of vodka, a couple shots of rum, some of the Coca-Cola, a couple Xanax, some Advil, and
Well,
and
wait a minute. Why Advil?
fat lot of good it did me.
Why did
The
why did you
Advil,
take?
so I get a headache from the vodka.
Yeah,
Does that
but
answer
doesn't
your
the headache have
question?
to happen first? Why would you take the Advil? You mean it just beats it up before it even can become a headache? Or
Oh shit, Willie! I guess I forgot that the headache was the fun part of drinking my ass off.
I think there's a phone booth that just. Is there a phone booth in
Is
your
that your phone?
apartment? That's in your
I
place.
don't.
That's
I
in your
didn't even
place.
know I
Sounds
had a
like a
phone.
squawking parrot. Do you own any birds?
Hey, all right. It's a guy. It's my Advil guy. He's got more Advil for me.
I
He's
was
coming
gonna
up the
say is
hill.
he's coming up the hill. You're on a hill?
Yeah, I'm in Laurel fucking Canyon, man. I live in James Taylor's old place. You ever heard of James Taylor?
Of course. I know James.
Yeah, you got a friend, man. I had a friend in Willy Wonka, and then I don't know what happened to him. Let's put it that
Well, you're
way.
just, you came into this whole interview ornery. There's some. Did you even eat today? You feel like you're low blood sugar.
Man, I've been writing songs for 6 damn days straight. You think I've eaten? Write music for the box cutters, man. I don't stop. Would you ask Keith Richards if he's eaten?
I did
Would you? Would you?
last week. I asked him. It's an important question to ask your friends because people forget to eat, and then all of a sudden they get angry. They want to fight, like yourself.
We don't need to fight, man. I'll be a good boy. you know, ask your questions. I'll be a good boy. I promise. I mean, we got a long history. I don't. I'm, I don't need you to. I don't even need you to tell me to be a good boy. I mean, I'm being a good boy. So I specifically asked you not to ask me about if I've eaten.
Well, I
Look
don't
at the
remember.
email.
I
Look at
don't.
the email.
I don't
I
look
said.
at emails. I don't read
I,
them. I don't read them. Somebody else reads them and tells me if I should read them.
yeah, is a 3 foot guy who speaks maybe 2 words of English and the rest of it's some goblin language.
They're
Is
not
that who's reading your
slaves.
emails?
They're not slaves. We are the music
Yeah,
makers. We are the dreamers of the dreams. And if you don't like that, then you can get the hell out of here.
I'll be a good boy. I promise. I'll be a good boy. You're a good man. You've been good to me. It's we're old friends. Is all. I felt that I had the equity to keep it real with you. I guess I don't. I guess I gotta. I guess I gotta go to Candyland too if I
Speaking
want to
of
see Willie.
Candyland, did you know the Chinese own 61% of the Wonka factory?
Yeah, you made some pretty shitty deals in the '90s, man.
That wasn't in the 90s. Uh oh. I'm not here.
You hold on one
Just.
second, man. It's the Advil guy. Just hold on one second.
If you want a view, paradise. I'll just fill time. Simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. want to change the world. There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Da 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 da. All right, what am I going to ask Billy? I've almost gone through all my questions. I forgot to ask if he has a golden ticket, but I assume he either lost it or painted over it. There is no. What the hell? Where did. What?
Fucking fans, man.
Was a fan? They just found your front door like that?
Yes. I'm telling you, man, don't. You,
You need gates. I have gates at the Wonka factory. I could actually hook you up with my gate guy. You should put up some gates.
what are they made of? Fucking taffy?
No, that wasn't very funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty funny.
You just
crack
bent
myself
down
up.
like that so you could do some more cocaine, didn't you?
Yeah. I don't. Do I
Keep
look
your
like
hands
I do
off your
cocaine?
face. Stay away from that microphone and keep your hands on your face. And don't do any sudden things. Geez, you really fidget. You're just. What do you need? Some tranquilizers or something?
I'm kind of out of that phase at this point. It's not '03, you know. You remember '03, right?
What does that mean? Refresh my
Two thou-
memory.
2003. You and I think we had just gotten done with the at the after party for the premiere of God, what was it? That Tim Robbins flick, Brian Phillippe and Claire Forlani. Goddamn, she was hot back then. Antitrust. I think that's what it was. Antitrust.
I don't think it was anti. Never heard of that
Oh,
movie.
2001, 2002. Antitrust. It was sort of it was a thriller about a Bill Gates
Oh,
style figure. You know what I'm talking about?
I love that film.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about a Gates guy, I mean, it doesn't get better than Bill.
As far as Gates, yeah. But oddly enough, not much into the texture of Gates. You know the texture of Gates. Have you ever read that book?
The texture of Gates.
The texture of Gates, which is what I wanted to say earlier when you said it was made out of. What did you say? It was made out of caramel or something?
Taffy. I said taffy,
Taffy.
brother. Yeah.
Well, taffy's actually not that pliable. It's pretty strong and has some vibrance in it. Very fibrous.
I mean, it's good that gates aren't made of taffy because I bet if you walked up to a gate that was made out of taffy, you'd probably cum your pants or something. You wouldn't even. You'd have to go home and change. You couldn't even pass through it. It's the kind of guy you are.
Do you have any social
I bet
media that you? This is the end of the
social
interview. I'm
media.
not. You can't talk to me like that. I'm Willy Wonka. I have to stand up for myself. I can't have somebody telling me when I'm gonna come in my pants. That's just not kosher.
I respect that, man. I mean, you throw a mean right hook, you got a jaw made out of steel. Times I fought with you, I walked away liking you more than whatever however much I liked you before, and I liked you a whole hell of a lot even before we started fighting. And when I see you at the gym, I give you space. I give you a wide berth at Equinox because I've been in fights with you before, and I know how they go. So the
Well,
fact that you stood up for yourself on the verbal side makes me respect you a lot.
well, my key to combat is not throwing a punch or a kick, but squeezing. Coming in from the middle and just squeezing the life out of you. That's why I won most of the fights. That's why you lost.
Yeah, yeah. Well, listen, man, I'm not a Vietnam vet. I'm not a Korean War vet like you. I'm just a guy writing tunes and showing up to sets, trying to make a buck. Yeah, I'm not a grappler. You know, you're a candy man. You're a pugilist. You're
I'm
a
not a candy
wanderer.
man. I'm Willy Wonka. I'm a chocolatier.
That's right.
I'm an
That's right.
independent businessman, and I'm the purveyor of chocolate and candy and all sorts of different things. But Billy, we have to go. I have to leave you. This is the end of the interview. There's no more. There's no more questions, no more answers. You're gonna
Why
have
are you
to
trying to
go.
bail? Why are you trying to bail out of this, man? I'm trying to tell you I respect you. I'm
You want to
trying to
know
tell you
why
that
you don't
this whole time
respect
I've been
me? You don't.
testing
You
you.
don't.
This whole time I've been
What do you
testing
mean
you.
testing me?
I,
No, you told me that if I came up to a taffy gate, that I would come in my pants. And that, sir,
yes.
is no good. You lose, sir. Good, fine, on we go. You lose. I think that just blew the mic out. Um, no, I don't care. This is a loose conversation, and I'm just joking with you. And you won, Billy. It's all yours. The Oompa Loompas, the chocolate factory, all the candy. You
You
won.
mean it? No,
No,
you're shitting me
you're
right
not. I'm
now.
not going to give you the factory. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, this guy's
But
shitting me right now. Just
do you
like I've
have
been
any?
shitting you this whole interview, man. I've been shitting you this whole
Why
time.
don't you just go shit in the toilet? And what's your social media? Because this can't continue anymore. I have to get this. I want to get your social handles first, and then I'm going to cut you off.
I don't really use social media. My assistant, James Austin Johnson, does. You can find him at Shrimp JAJ. And any DMs to me, you go through him. You can deal with him. But I don't really do social media. I don't really
You
carry a
know,
phone. I got a damn flip phone. It doesn't
yeah.
even have a
Well,
battery. I got to plug it in.
you know what? Be grateful for those things. To not get lost in your screen, playing little games, watching videos all day. I thank
Yeah.
you for coming, Billy Bob. Thank you.
Hey, Willie, I just want to tell you, you're a good friend. Maybe your audience doesn't get it the way that we spar back and forth, but we're pugilists, you and I, and there's a respect there, and uh, I can't wait till I respect you upside the head next time I see you.
And I can't wait till I squeeze the life out of you, sir. Thank you for coming. We'll see you next time. For more at The
It's
Jeff Richards
just
Show, you can go to thejeffrichardshow.com, visit the Patreon, go to linktree.com/Jeff Richards, and now a song from this band. They'll be credited in the liner notes.
It's my show, but I'm never there.